So for me personally, and for probably many of you, we tend to rely more on digital tactics than non-digital tactics, especially because we're glued to our cell phones and our computers and our Chromebooks and whatever the technology is that we have. A lot of us are glued to them, and we're constantly looking at it, and we're constantly utilizing those technologies. So generally, it's pretty effective for us individuals to be targeted using digital. But how about think about your parents or your grandparents, or maybe some of the even younger people that don't have cell phones or computers? Maybe non-digital would be a more effective way to reach them. And some of this probably sounds like common sense, but it's good to review it, especially as we think about your marketing plan for this class and marketing plan activities that we're going to be doing in here, because generally we're probably not always going to be targeting ourselves. So it's good to think about what other people need. So maybe some advantages of digital is that it's usually free or pretty cost effective. A lot of people can look at the information. We can reshare, reuse, share out on different social media platforms. If I post something to Facebook, I could easily share it over to Instagram or Twitter or vice versa. And I can reach a lot of people pretty quickly with minimal effort. Non-digital, however, you get a hard copy of something, or you get to physically see something and you know that they are getting it because you are mailing it to them, or they are physically getting it in their hand. Whereas on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, it may say that you're reaching 5,000 people, but that could just be scrolls and people not actually getting your message and syncing it in. Okay. So some questions you should consider when you're choosing which tactics to use. What technology access or skills do our target audience members have? If we're targeting a 75-year-old grandpa's, they're probably not going to have the interest or technology available to look at a Facebook campaign or Facebook video or whatever. But if we're targeting 20-year-olds, sure, that could be a great tactic and a great opportunity for us. How does our target audience most prefer to access their information? So if we go ahead and we post lots of things on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and run some TV ads and commercials or radio advertisements, but the people that we are trying to target don't necessarily prefer getting information that way, again, they may not be actually absorbing or even getting that information. And lastly, which tactic will generate the most buzz for your buck, I like to say. So that basically means which tactic can we use to get the most information out there and get people excited about that information with relation to how much it's costing us. Okay, so comparing and contrasting digital tactics and non-digital tactics. Some digital tactics include social media, infographics, electronic coupons, email blasts, videos or commercials. Non-digital tactics may include billboards, flyers, print media like a newspaper or a press release, printed coupons, mailers, events, or in-person sampling. So these are all different types of tactics that we can utilize in our communication campaigning. So some pros and cons of each one. Pros of digital tactics, again, it's spreadable, inexpensive, reusable, can direct audience to other websites or links. And digital tactics cons would be no guarantee that the audience will actually engage, and access isn't always equitable, especially in rural areas. Like we're obviously in a very rural school district, so not everyone is going to have Wi-Fi or internet at home. Some pros of non-digital tactics is access, something in their hand, and equitable. Like we can easily get non-digital items in the hands of everyone if we wanted to. Cons, however, it can be expensive, especially if we're sending out mailers or if we're making little magnets or sampling food. Distribution can be challenging and very timely, and it's not as spreadable. So if I mail something to you in the mail, you're not going to probably go ahead and distribute that to other people. You might put it on your fridge and your family members might see it, but it's not as spreadable as something in your phone or on an app. So we are going to stop there for now, and we'll come back for the top tips.